Few have seen the beautiful chalk reef lying so close to North Norfolk shore. The sliver exposed at low tide gives just a hint of its amazing history and biodiversity. The North Sea is rarely seen as an exciting wildlife haven, but North Norfolk's chalk reef is truly remarkable. The word reef may perhaps conjure up tropical corals, but sailors use this term to describe any hard, rocky seabed. Norfolk's chalk reef is distinct from the surrounding soft sands, clays and muds that form most of the North Sea's seabed. Our rocky reef is a unique habitat, full of extraordinary life. Like an underwater city, there are busy areas, sprawling suburbs and open spaces. Every different niche has its own community, and the chalk hosts hundreds of species, building a rich, complex and fascinating ecosystem. Let's explore our unique chalk reef, the longest chalk reef in Europe. Between Cley and Salthouse, the chalk reef emerges from beneath glacial clay. How much chalk shows depends on sand movement underwater during winter storms. Wherever the hard chalk outcrops, its structure allows both plants and animals to find a home. Craggy mounds here are enjoyed by small crabs, young lobsters and hungry filter feeders. Although many dive here on the wreck of the Rosalie, which sank in 1915, few know there's also chalk just off Weybourne's Shingle Beach. Although many divers come to Weybourne to visit the wreck of the Rosalie, which sank in 1915, few know there's also chalk just beyond the Shingle Beach. In fact, a huge slab of chalk stretches all the way from here to West Runton on top of the main chalk plain. Sea scorpions aren't venomous, but arm themselves with spines to prevent them being swallowed. They're ambush hunters which lie in wait for their prey, which may be swallowed whole. The pog is a small relative of the sea scorpions, sometimes known as a hooknose. It adds bony plates to their spines for extra protection. Their mouths are surrounded by sensitive barbels which they use to hunt the seafloor for food. Sheringham is the reef's bustling city centre. The rugged chalk starts north of Sheringham Park and runs to West Runton. The most dramatic formation are off the town itself, where shallow gullies run out to become 3-metre deep valleys. Tunnels and arches in their walls host myriad animals. Surveys have recorded over 350 species on the reef. This purple sponge is often seen by divers. It is a species new to science and has never been found anywhere else in the world. Nudibranchs or sea slugs are amongst the most striking local creatures. They are molluscs related to snails, which each have their own favourite food, although many of those foods contain stings or toxins that may deter other predators. The nudibranchs can consume these and turn them to their own defence. Rock pools at West Runton offer just a taste of what can be found underwater. There are shy and unexpected creatures waiting here to be discovered, in this complex world of chalk and flints. The islands of chalk here were probably first eroded by Ice Age meltwaters. As sea levels rose and the North Sea formed, they have remained as seabed features. Our shy pipefish live in the shadow of the seahorse, but are similar in many ways. The males look after the eggs, and although pipefish are not as slow-moving, they also rely on a hard, boxy skeleton and living amongst camouflage for defence. During the summer, they hunt in the seaweed, picking out small particles of food with their excellent eyesight. Here, the outer chalk plain widens and the inshore chalk reverts to low-polished channels rather than rugged gullies. This pale chalk plateau gives rise to an abundance of seaweed, a marine parkland rich in animal life. Seaweed is the foundation of a healthy ecosystem, just as plants are on land. The offshore plain is strewn with flints eroded from the chalk bedrock. Many are pot stones, donut-shaped formations of flint, also called paramudra. Some animals spend most of their life attached to rocks or other hard structures, and, to our eyes, resemble plants on the land. Cromoz Pier enables summer strollers to walk out over the chalk, whether they know it or not. Beneath their feet, animals live amongst debris left by anglers, tourists, builders and fishermen. This artificial reef leads to the real thing. Beyond the pier, an area called Foulness stretches seaward for more than 5 kilometres. Chalk banks and ridges up to 2 metres high are littered with wreckage and the remains of Shipton village, long lost to the sea. Shoaling fish swirl over these features amongst a carpet of red seaweeds. Many of our local animals occur all around the British coast. For example, although the edible crab goes by many names, it is the same species everywhere. In Norfolk it is the Cromoz crab, but the only distinction is that they are caught smaller here than anywhere else in Europe. Any lucky enough to survive to old age can live for 40 years or more. Crabs are heavily armoured knights of the sea, but the links all crustaceans have to insects are much more easily seen in these delicate glassy prawns. Prawns swim over the surface, while shrimps feed just below it. Overstrand is an enigmatic spot where looking out gives little idea of the exciting marine habitat close by. Hidden underwater, the chalk emerges from the sloping sand. Amazing little cuttlefish and weaverfish hunt here, especially at night. The soft sand around the chalk suits both of these patient ambush hunters. The little cuttlefish, despite being no larger than a bumblebee, are fierce predators. Good eyesight and brilliant camouflage make them very effective at ambushing small prey. Using water jets to propel themselves, they can move surprisingly fast. At Trimmingham, bright white chalk often shows at the water's edge. This is a geological transition point where the chalk slips back under hard clay as it runs east. Our journey exploring the chalk reef has taken us 30 kilometres. There's still much to discover about Norfolk's unique chalk reef, but we do know this area is special. So special that it has been designated as Norfolk's first marine conservation zone. Healthy seas are a vital part of our own life support system. Just as on land, better protection of key habitats and species will benefit both people and wildlife. Please join us in supporting better protection for our seas and coast.